I can speak more.
Who has an active listing right now? Who has buyers that you need? What do you have?
I have a buyer that looking for West Palmdale around our shopping mall.
Okay.
And they need 5 or 6 bedrooms and about 3,000 square foot in West Lancaster.
In West Lancaster, Palm Village area
Yeah,
around there?
yeah, close to our mall is the best. Just this area.
Alright guys, who has a listing like that? Keep that in mind if you see one. Julie, you got a listing?
Yeah, I do have, but I have already offers.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, miss. Who else has a buyer or listing that you need to get an escrow?
I have a listing out in Tehachapi. The address is 26201 Cumberland. Has about 2,500 square feet, sits on 11.34 acres of land. Has 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. So yeah, there's down Tehachapi. Nice area. That area. Yeah, that'd be great. Also have just cured buyer yesterday, and they're looking to for a 3 or 4 bedroom single story home. The maximum purchase price is 500, but they would most likely probably go 510 for a single story home, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, something right in this area, a little bit 40 east of Palmdale, it's around that area too.
No, it's good. Guys, remember, we are the brokerage that has the most listings.
Woo!
The most
Let's
opportunities. So, yeah, buyers, come talk to your fellow realtors.
Can I say something to you? I have a new down payment assistance that I'm going to be rolling out on Monday. There's no income limitation. There's no debt to income ratio restrictions. I just closed my first one. We did it with Jessica Wilson right now. We're going to Tyler right now. The client qualified for 100,000 more than they were qualified for. And the down payment also paid. So we have a lot of options for walls. But Monday I'll be giving out flyers that we like to follow. And Saturday we close as far as clients are coming in.
They give you the sneak peek. Friday, you have one?
I have a 450,000 West Lancaster to that one. And we can pay for it's on Lorimer, 44804 Lorimer.
Okay, nice.
It's vacant.
You know?
I have a this thing in Grossman, 3 bedroom, 2 bath.
Okay, check out Henry Pussy.
So it's 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2.5 acres. It's rehab, nutrition, and gonna be reducing the price today on it. It's at $489.
Nice. Guys, you guys have opportunity here. If you have a buyer that qualified for a certain amount, come start talking to the agent. Come find the listings that we have. Sometimes in house. That transaction. Alright, guys.
I got one free market for you guys. Doing photos on Friday or tomorrow. Photos tomorrow. It's 24 or 2,600 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. West Lancaster. It's over there behind Mayaka on Avenue Y. Actually, it's one of the newer houses, but really nice free market. And the home is in great shape. I think it just needs some carpets, but we're going to be listing that at $490. So big house for a really good price.
Nice. Alright, guys. Well, now I get the listing from. Now you can fill those buyers. Alright.
All right, guys, we're going to get started about becoming a listing pro. Now, I've taught you guys the listing presentation several times now, and every time we've run out of time before we get to the comps, before we get to the net sheets, before we end the actual presentation. So today, and we have limited time, so I'm going to run through the presentation so you get an idea if you've never seen it before, or a refresher if you've already seen it. And then we're going to touch on the things that we haven't got to spend a lot of time in. Is that fair enough? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay, but before we get started, I want to give God all the glory, so I'm going to open with prayer. Dear Lord, we thank you, Father God, that we can all become listing pros. Lord, whatever it is that we're missing, whatever it is that we need to more skill or education on. Lord, I pray that you fill that. You point us in the direction, in the path that we need to go on so we can become the best listing agents. Lord, I thank you that you put me in a position of leadership at an amazing company that focuses on people developing, not on selling homes, not on making a commission, but developing people. Lord, I pray, I know there's multitudes of people that have left here, that have become leaders, that have become financially free, and there's multiple people that have become partners here and that have stayed with us, doing all these things, growing their company through this company, Lord. And I pray that today I can help develop these agents to another level of success. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, guys, so we're going to get started. Now, typically what I do is I role play this with someone in here. But because we're on a pretty tight schedule, I'm just going to go through it as a refresher. Okay? You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so first thing I do is I walk in, I knock on the door. I don't know, that's probably not yours. I knock on the door, I'm there 5 minutes early, and then I go in and I say, I talk a little bit of small talk. I ask them to tour the house, right? Usually I like to tour it with them. You don't have to, that's up to you. You can say I want to tour it like a buyer would see it without anyone else, so I can really look at it just like a buyer would look at it, and then I can meet you back at the dining table. Would that be okay with you? Or you can go, hey, would you be able to show me through the house? Because I like to connect with them. Both of these work, okay? It's just when you're walking through the house, if they're always talking about all the upgrades and all the things they did, they're thinking in their mind, it's programming their mind to go, oh, it's worth more, it's worth more, it's worth more, when they're telling you about all the things they've done. Okay, so if you're able to control the conversation, then walk through the house with them. If you're not able to control that conversation, walk through the house alone. Does that make sense? If you walk through the house with them, ask them, some things about their move. Ask them if you see family photos on the wall. Talk about their family. Talk about the sports they like. There's all kind of clues of what kind of person they are when you're walking through the home. So you're looking to connect. By the way, connecting does not mean, everyone say connecting?
Connecting.
It doesn't mean that you have something in common. So many times we walk into the house trying to find something in common. You do not have to have anything in common to connect with someone. What you do have to do is you have to be excited about what they like. Excited and emotional about the things that are important to them. Right? That's how you connect. They love soccer? Oh, wow, you have no idea what soccer is. You've never even heard of soccer. Tell me more about that. How is that game played? Who plays it? Who's your favorite player? Do you play? Wow, that's so interesting. I can tell how you keep in good shape. That's connecting. Ask more questions about the things that they love. When you see them spark, you better keep on it. Keep that spark going because it's emotional. What it does is it creates an emotion inside them of something that they love, and then now they get to connect that emotion with you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, you've seen the house. I walk through it. I'm meeting them back at the table, or I'm bringing them to the table. Now I'm saying, okay, great. Let's go ahead and meet at the kitchen table. Guys, if they're saying, hey, let's meet at the couch, this is where you become a leader, and you say, actually, the best spot for us to go over everything is at the kitchen table. Okay? If they don't have a kitchen table there, then you might want to do it at the kitchen counter. Okay? Most homes, I would say 90% of the time, they're going to have a kitchen table. Then you start leading again, and you say, okay, great. Can I have you sit to my right? And you want to try to position. You tell them where to sit. Can I have you sit to my right here? It actually helps me show you everything when you're to my right. I don't sit across from them. When you sit across from somebody, it's more head-to-head. It's combative, right? When you sit next to somebody, you rub his shoulders. You care. We're buddies. We're good. You understand? Make sense? Yeah, rub some of that on you. So I'm starting by controlling their environment. I'm starting with that. Kitchen tables where so many decisions are made. That's where I'm taking it to because I want them to make a decision. Okay? I want them to make a decision and I want to control the environment. if there's two people, I want the decision maker closest to me. I don't always know exactly who that is right away. I try to guide it in some way, shape, or form to get the decision maker closest to me. If it doesn't happen, that's okay. Also, what I like to do when I'm talking to them is I like to give them a little touch. Touch them on the shoulder. I like to laugh at their jokes. Smile a lot. Feel open and free. Good energy. Be excited to get what they talk about. Okay. So now we're at the table. And then I let them know. I say, okay, today we're going to go over the process and plan of what it looks like when you list your home. From before it hits the market, to hitting the market, to a closing, and afterwards. I'm going to take you step by step through everything, and I'm going to guide you through the process so you have a clear understanding of what to expect. This will help me, help you know what to expect from me, and help me know what to expect from you. Now, if this is a totally cold lead, I go to houses I've never talked to them, I never met them. It's just appointment was set up for me somehow, shape, or form, and I just show up, right? Sometimes I'll call beforehand to confirm the appointment, but I actually like somebody else to call for me to confirm the appointment. But if I have not had a connection or relationship, I'm going to play this video. If I had they know well about me, then I might not play this video. So a lot of things you have to keep in mind, your listing presentation is fluid, it's liquid. It's changeable, right? You change and adapt it. It's not like this is how it gives you a good format, but some things you can change depending on the person. Okay? So that's why I might skip over this slide. Might go, hey, this quick little introduction, but we know each other so good. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next one. Right? If not, here's a quick little snippet of it.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or just need some real estate guidance? Hey there.
We don't have to play it. I just talk about how cute I am, and that's going to help us sell the house. So a video introduction is really good. I know MK has one, made a video introduction. I love it. It's really good. You just really kind of, in a nutshell, and also it shows the quality of video, how you present yourself on video, right? So it's a really good thing. And the great thing about video is you guys can control that. If it's not good enough, then make it better. If it's blurry, make it more clear. If you're messing up what you say, fix it. You get to do everything and edit and fix before anyone ever sees it. When you're at the house, guess what? You can't really edit that, right? So put some time into a little intro video or something that kind of makes you stand out right in the beginning. Then I start talking about myself, right? Because I want them to know and understand who I am as a person. And I say, hey, this is just a little slide about me so you can get to know me a little bit better. I am a family man. This is a picture of my family right here. And then I go and I name each person how old they are. I even make a little joke. Okay, I want this to be a good feeling. I talk about how long I've been with my wife. I got 2 dogs, enjoy hiking, passionate about this. I attend Calvary Chapel Church. I volunteer for shelters, and my big why. You need to have an About You page on your presentation because you, again, especially with all this AI stuff, what do they say? Humans like humanity. Be a human. Be a person. Show them you're not just a salesperson. You're also a human being, right? Then I go into business. Here's my career achievements. You might say, I don't know what to brag about. I don't know what trophies or achievements I have. Think about it. You really probably have a lot more achievements than you think, and it doesn't have to be in real estate, right? So I've been a realtor since 2007. I've been a licensed broker since 2014. Over 50,000 hours of full-time experience. #1 production, ranked in the top 1%. Actually, we're over 3,000 homes sold already. Running a proficient team. This is a little bit about me. I've had a guest appearance on TV shows. I'm an active real estate investor. I wrote and authored a book called The Guru Guide to Sell Your Home. I have ownership in Keller Williams offices. I'm creating validation, reputation, experience. That's what we want to do. We want the humanity side. We want the professional side. Make sense? So far, we're good? Yes. All right. Then I go over quick added value where I say, hey, Here's the added value that you're going to get with working with me that you're probably not going to find anywhere else. Or you can take out the probably word and say, here's the added value you're going to get that you won't find anywhere else. We have a proven staging plan and consultation. We help you stage your home so you get the most money for it. 0% financing for upgrades or repairs. Hey, if you feel that the flooring needs to be replaced in order for you to sell your home and make more money, we can finance that up to a certain dollar amount. Make your own added value, by the way. Put your own guarantees. People like to hear, oh, guarantee? What does that mean? Right? I guarantee you that I will get this done in this amount of time, or you get this. It also puts you on your feet to the fire. You got to be doing what you're doing, otherwise you're going to be paying for their whatever. Maybe they're moving or this or that, whatever. Right? Come up with a value add. We have the free moving truck. We have free maid service. When I say free, we're paying for it. We have carpet cleaning service. The moving truck, the maid service, the carpet cleaning service, y'all can do that. It's not hard. And it makes your listing look better, right? And if you pay for it, great, right? And then I add a little catch onto it. All this is free as long as we close escrow together. If you decide to take it off the market, decide to list it somewhere else, I completely understand, and I have no issue with that. I just ask them to pay me back dollar for dollar what I put into the house, and I'm going to give you the invoice. So if you decide not to sell your home, you're just going to reimburse me for the money I did put into your house to improve it. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Now if they're like, oh, I'm just going to list it with someone else. Okay, now they owe me $1,000. So it's like, oh, let me see if I can fix my agent or help tell them what I have issues with before I switch agents or try to pretend I'm just staying here and then hire another agent, right? Then we have our exclusive proven marketing plan. We also have our 72-hour cash offer program. This is added value. All of you should be saying, by the way, is you have a cash offer program. You have 48-hour, 72-hour cash offer program. I can get you an offer in this much time. If you have urgency to be out quickly, I have the solution for that. Because I will buy it cash. So you can bring it to me. The pencil's out. I can always make it the offer. It might not work for them, but I can always make them that cash offer. And they can decide, do they want to sell it and make it happen, or do they want to put it on the market? Make sense? Okay. Again, reputation is important. What people
I'm a deputy district attorney.
I am an investigator for the dependency court attorney.
I heard about Thomas through my mother, who did online research.
I was always very willing to listen.
We needed to sell our house quickly and yet get the best price possible. Thomas made it happen. We had 2 homes to sell. We sold the first one within 5 days of listing for more than we were asking for, and then the smaller one we sold within, I think, 4 days for more than we were asking for.
He helped us with staging, with photos, with advertising. It was a complete success. I recommend Thomas and his team to my friends, my family. It was an amazing experience.
Thomas seemed very knowledgeable. What made me think that Thomas was the right fit was that he knew what he was talking about, so we felt really comfortable. We got the feeling that he was actually listening to what it was that was important to us. Our experience working with the team was really cool because I had lots of questions, and I would speak to Jessica on the phone probably every day, 2 or 3 times.
Thomas's team, they really impressed me because they were there whenever we needed them. I asked them a lot of questions, text messages, emails, phone calls, and they answered all the questions. I had a million questions like every day. For a seller, if you're selling your house, he sold our house really quick. And then over that weekend, we had a lot of interest buyers in that house.
Okay, so I go over the testimonial. Then I go back, okay, here's even more. I have 5-star reviews. If you got Google reviews, if you have Yelp reviews, you have, Homes.com, Zillow reviews, you have good reviews, make sure you share that. And I even put one of them on here and I go, hey, we have 5 stars. The reason I put this image, because this is a screenshot, right? Because I don't want them to just hear me say I have 5 stars. I want to show them I have 5 stars, but I also want to control what they see. Because if I show them here, they're less likely to look it up. I do have 5 stars. However, there are, I think because I have so many, there's a 2-star. There's like 1 2-star one. That's crazy, but I can't control that anymore. It is what it is. So they're not going to go look, but I always say, please go look on Yelp. They just don't do it. If they do, it's still 5 stars, right? That doesn't change, but there is one, not the best review. All right, so I have a little screenshot on that. Again, I'm creating, what's that word? Not reputation, not validity. Rapport and credibility. Thank you. Who said that? You did? Oh, you get 5 stars, girl. Good job. See, you already got 5 stars. All right. So after this is my introduction, right? Who I am, how you can trust me, right? Then I'm like, enough about me. Let's talk about you, because you are the most important person in this transaction. You are the most important person that we're working with to bring the best results to. So let me know a little bit about you. I don't know if you noticed, but me, Kimmy, and Victoria all wear the same color.
I thought you guys planned it.
Right. I'm like, whoa, look at us go. I took my jacket off so you can see my muscles. Okay, so I have a link embedded right into my slideshow. I'm presenting this on my laptop or on an iPad, okay? I think it just makes me look techie, and it's a lot better than, I used to use a flip book, worked really well too. However, I prefer a laptop. All right, so the first thing, I'm like, okay, these are my seller review questions. Mr. Seller, I have a couple of questions for you. For me to review about your situation. Would that be okay if we get started? Yes, perfect. Okay, sounds good. I put today's date in, whatever it is. I put the address. Right, I put the client's name, right? I put, the other person's name, wife or whatever, husband, child, somebody else on title, maybe a decision maker, could be a grandma, whoever is important to put on that, I put there. Then I get into the questions. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, on a scale from 1 to 10, if you guys aren't writing these questions down, you should be, okay? If you want to take a picture, take a picture. These are your review questions. They're super simple, but you need to memorize these. These go a long way. These go when you're not on an appointment. These go when you're on a phone call, when you're trying to convert somebody into a listing, right? On a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, how high is your motivation, pause, to sell this home? What is that called? Yes, what else is it called? Sell this home. Embedded command. It's also called downswing. We're going to use a downswing on our embedded commands. So what I'm doing here is I'm touching base on what they want. They want to sell the home, but now I'm also commanding them to sell the home. And I embed it in a question. An important question. This is an important question. However, I'm also going the next level and embedding and commanding it. So, on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, how high is your motivation to sell this home? And I always pause. And people are like, wow, you pause that long? Like, doesn't that get awkward? Like, I'm making it stand out. I'm making it stand out, right? And they say, someone give me a number. 7. Okay? If they say 7, usually I say, hey, couldn't pick a 7? Would it be a 6 or an 8? And then because 7 feels safe for them, it's not too close to 10, but then 6 seems a little too low. Like, why is this person even in my living room or my kitchen, right? So they say 7. And so I want to know, is it 8 or is it a 6, right? So then I'll ask that question. Well, if you couldn't pick 7, what would the number be? Let's just say it's an 8 in this situation. Perfect. My next question is, what would make it a 10? Get my price, job transfer, divorce, whatever, okay? Whatever it is, this is your key. Your key to know what has to happen. What's going to make this a 10? What do I need to focus on for them to sell this home? Okay? Ready for another embedded command? Okay. You're going to tell me what the embedded command is after this question. When you sell this property, where you go? Okay, this is not embedded command. Slightly. When you sell this property, where are you moving to next? Right? Somewhat, but not really an exact embedded command. So when you sell this property, where are you going to move to next? Right? China. They're going to go visit my cousins. I'm not Chinese, guys. I just...
You can visit.
Yeah, but you can still visit. What takes you there? Visit your cousins, of course. What takes you there? Like job transfer, bigger home, right? They might want to stay local. So what keeps you local? Oh, I need a bigger house, right? You guys need to know the motivation. Why? What's making them sell this home? What is important to them? What do they need? Because they don't care about you. They care about what they need, and they need to know that you can deliver what they need. I don't go to the dentist because I like the dentist. I go to the dentist because they can fix my tooth. They're not coming to realtors because they like realtors. They come into realtors to get a need taken care of. Okay? So that way you need to see what is it that they need. Okay, what else do you like about it? Okay, sorry. Okay, well, so what takes you there? Then I ask more. Okay, what else is important about moving there? Because typically they'll give me one reason here or there. I want to dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper. Ask questions. Everyone say, ask questions.
Ask questions.
There we go. How soon do you need to be there? This is so important. Sometimes it's 30 days. Sometimes it's 3 months. Sometimes it doesn't matter. When it doesn't matter, I go back to motivation. What is it? Are you sure? It doesn't matter? So what's really going on? And then I'm real careful when they don't have a motivation or a time frame of actually taking that listing. I'll either turn it down. They got to price it right, 100%. If they don't have a true motivation and timeline, they got to price it right, or I won't take it. I won't even flirt with it. If you had to guess, what would be your perfect time frame to have this home sold and be moved into your next home? Okay, because sometimes they're like, oh yeah, I needed 6 months. Okay, well, what's the perfect time frame? If you could snap your fingers and make it happen, what's your perfect time frame? Embedded command in here. Of course, I research the market every day, so obviously we'll make sure we list your home at a price that will cause it to sell. Of course, I research the market every day, so obviously we'll make sure we list your home at a price that will cause it to sell. Okay? I want to make sure that's embedding in their head. I need to list to sell. The right price. How much do you owe? You might have this information already. Ask it again. I just want to, if you already have it, hey, I just want to confirm. You owe about $530,000, correct? Yes, I do. Okay, great. Does anything else need to be paid off with the sale of this home? Secondary liens, HELOC, solar, water softener, whatever. Child support, what is it? Because you need to know about it because this has been something that has ruined deals. Okay, another way to do it is bring an SI with you, which is a statement of information. If you get the statement of information, you get it back. You submit that to a title company. Title company will do the research and tell you if there's any judgments or anything else on it that could cause it not to sell, or that would have to be paid off with the sale. In your mind, what has to happen in your life, because there's two things that are here that I'm messing with. For the house, what has to happen to the house before we can sell it? What has to happen in your life before we can sell it? Now, most of the time, it's nothing. I'm ready. Perfect. Right? In your mind, what has to happen in your life or to the home so that the house is ready for the market, or before the house is ready for the market? Okay. Then I get to 3 bottom line questions. This is what's called a soft close. Everyone say soft close. Soft close. Basically, I'm checking the temperature. Are you ready to? Like, if I put a contract in front of you right now, are you going to sign it? Like, I might not even have to do this whole thing. I always do, but I want to know where I'm at. So, first off, I start by getting them to say yes. Okay? I say, Rose, are you definitely ready to sell this house?
Yes.
They usually are. 8 or higher. 7, 8, 9, 10 or higher motivation. And are you going to price it right, and there's downswings in here and there's embedded commands, are you going to, pause, price it right? Everyone say price it right?
Price it right.
Are you going to price it right, or are you okay with letting it sit on the market for a long time, or just have it sit on the market? Oh, price it right, price it right. Good. And third, and very important is, do you want me to get the home sold to you? And a lot of times they'll say, yeah, so far. So this is where you'll know, like, how bought in are they already? They're like, well, you know, I need to know a little bit more. You know, how much you charge? Like, okay, great. I'm glad you asked that. We're going to get there. We're getting to that. Real close. Coming up. Or sometimes like, yeah, well, of course. I love those ones. I'm like, all right, cool. As long as I just don't fart in here in front of them, they will list the house with me. Everyone okay on that so far?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to move quick. Okay. So then I go over the market plan. I'm going to go over this very quickly. I'm going to talk about staging. Here's why it's important to stage your home. Here's how we're going to help you. Okay? Need to move fast, guys. So if you're taking pics, make it quick. Okay. Photography. We're going to have the best photography by the best photographer hired specifically only for our company or our team. And it's going to be unique and differentiated with all the other homes that are on the market. We're going to do video tours and video skits, and we're going to make this fun, okay? And I will show you an example, but we are low on time. Anytime you can prove in that presentation that you do what you say you do, freaking prove it. Put it in there. Because if you just say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do a video. Here's a video of me. I don't have to say I'm going to do a video. I'm going to say, here's a video of me doing the video tours that I was telling you about. Put it in there. Give them an example. All right, virtual tours. You know, this is 360 virtual walkthrough, and I explain how it works, right? I go over that with them. And you guys, after everything I say, after every slide, I typically say, I use what's called a tie down. And I say, does that make sense? Right? Sound good? Follow me? You with me? You understand? Because engagement is so key. If they're not engaging, they're thinking about dinner, they're thinking about dirty diapers, they're thinking about all kinds of other stuff that's on their mind. So you have to re-engage every single time. Does that make sense? Feel me? Right? That's pretty cool, huh? When you ask a question like that, it just re-engages them, keeps them going. And this is long. You want, like, this is a movie. To me, this is a movie. This is my movie. I'm sitting down with someone watching my movie, right? If you made a movie, wouldn't you want it to be amazing? Like, I want my movie. I want people to watch my movie. That's how I feel about this. This is my movie. So then I'll mention single property websites. We're going to put your house, you're going to have your very own website just for your home. And then I explain all that. You guys are moving quick. I'm not going to go over all the details and everything because I want to get to the other stuff, okay? Video marketing. We're going to do videos up and down, left and right. We're going to do so many videos for your home, and we're going to make sure those get posted on YouTube, Vimeo, Metacafe, Dailymotion, Ustream, Google+, Facebook. And we're also going to put marketing dollars behind that so that way, you know, like on YouTube when an ad comes up, oh yeah, I do. Great. We're going to do the same thing but with your house. The video for your home, we're going to make sure that we pay YouTube to present that commercial in the beginning of another video they're going to watch. And we're going to have targeted advertising for a geographic area and a certain type of lifestyle and so on and so forth, right? Everything you do, make it sound really good. Because we're going to make a video for your house. Or we're going to put it on social media. We're going to put it on Zillow. Bro, everyone does this. But nobody presents the way that I present. Nobody. I'm engaging with them, and I'm making every little thing that I do go like, whoa! I didn't know you guys did that. I'm like, well, most people don't. You know? They definitely don't present it like I do. Right? Social media. We're going to make sure you're all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn, so that you get the most exposure. Because what we found is the more exposure you get, the more showings you get, the more offers that you get. Typically, the more offers you get, the more money you get. And that's what's important to you, isn't it? Yeah, of course. I want to make a lot of money on that. Okay? Internet marketing. You guys, what this slide actually says is that I put it in Flex. I put it in the MLS. That's what this slide really means. But that's not what I say. Because when you put it in the MLS, it gets syndicated, right? So we're going to do a ton of internet marketing for your home. We're going to make sure it's across all the listing portals. There's about 400 listing portals online. I'm sure. Which one do you use? I know you probably use Zillow, maybe. Yeah, Zillow, Redfin. Oh, yeah, definitely that's on it. We're going to make sure we get on all 400 of those listing portals within 24 hours of your home hitting the market. Does that sound good? Yes, it does. Okay, great. Because if someone's looking for your home, this is what we say. Why are you laughing?
Because someone wants to say.
Isn't that the MLS? Someone said that to you?
Someone said that to me. I was like, but go ahead.
They might have just thought Zillow's the MLS, you know? But, yeah. They're like, whoa, translation? Yeah. So if someone's looking for your house online, they're going to find it. And then I throw in a little joke. And if they're not looking for your house online, you're still going to find it. Right? Text and email marketing. We have a database of over 50,000 people. Okay, this is me talking, but you can also use it because Keller Williams, all the agents together are a database. So you have thousands of people in your database regardless because we represent one company. And that company has hundreds of thousands in our database, right? Between all of us. So our database has over 10,000. This needs to say 50,000. It's a little dated. Things change really fast. Of people who are interested in residential homes, and they're going to receive a text message or an email notifying them that your house is hitting the market. Okay, it's just a bulk email blast through your database, right? Could have the video on there, could have the pictures on there, could have the website link, all that stuff, right? And then we can also buy data, right? We can buy contacts. We can circle. We can draw a circle. We can buy all the neighborhood, all the people, anyone. And we can buy that stuff, and we can send it out to them as well, which leads me to this one. We also have a telemarketing team. It's all my agents. It's myself. We're calling all the time to find you a buyer. We don't just put it on the market, put up a sign, and pray for an offer. We're proactive by actually reaching out to every potential buyer there could be. We don't just wait around praying we find someone. We actually pray and then go look for them, right? We want to find a buyer for your house. And if the telemarketing team is you, that's part of it. I'm making calls this many hours a day looking for a buyer specifically for your home. And then what I also say is typically what happens is that when I find that buyer, they're already working with an agent because 90% of buyers who are serious in the market already have an agent. So what happens is they'll go, okay, thank you, Thomas, for sharing that with me. I'll call my agent to set up an appointment. So what I'm setting it up as, every single showing that you get could possibly be because I found the buyer. Does that make sense? And the truth of the matter is, yeah, that is true. Because you did a post or you did some marketing and now a buyer saw it and then now they're calling their agent to go see it, right? So when I find a buyer, typically they're already working with an agent because 90% of buyers that are actually active in the market are already working with an agent, and I don't want to step on their toes. All I want to do is sell your house. I don't care what agent brings them here. Could be me, could be another agent. The most important thing is I sell your house and I sell it for the most money because that is what you want, isn't it? Everyone say, that is what you want.
That is what you want.
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yes, that is what I want. You're also going to be on our real estate website. It has all this stuff. I'm going to go over it quickly. We also do radio ads.
Hi guys, it's your favorite realtor, Thomas Pulaskis.
You guys, like I said, anytime you say you do something, if you can bring proof Bring it. This is proof that I've made radio ads. This is one of my radio ads I'm playing right there in front of them. Okay? Print media. We're going to do 2,500 postcards just for your home. We also do flyers. We also door knock. I'm going to go over that. On every flyer, on every postcard, there's going to be a QR code. That QR code is then going to lead them to the single property website that's made just for you. You could also use our branded app, guys. This is the Keller Williams app. On there, you can look for a mortgage. You can look for vendors. You can find properties. And also, this is the way that we're going to market your house, because the people that have our app downloaded will also be able to see that we listed your home. We do a 7th level open house. Guys, this one is a lot. This is a whole class in itself. So I'm going to go real quick over this, not go into detail because we're running out of time. So, this is what we do with 7th level. What I like to tell them, I'll go over each level, but when I'm with them. And then I'll say, but we take it to the 10th level. They're like, oh, and I'm like, and then I kind of joke like, and I'll tell you how I do that in a minute. Then I go over each level. And then I say, how we take it to the 10th level is we skip level 8 and 9, we go straight to level 10. And how we do that is every single open house we're offering prizes at the door. We're doing a specialty open house that could be a barista live on the spot making coffee just like Starbucks would or just like Coffee Bean would, right here with the machine, for free for everyone that comes. Delicious coffee. We could be doing a car wash open house where everyone gets a free car wash by coming to the open house. We hire a mobile detailer. They come out. They wash everyone's car when they show up. Because why am I doing all this? Because the open house is not what sells. The open house is not necessarily what sells the house, but having a lot of people look at it does help. I'm bragging about all the stuff that I do that helps me get more clients. All this stuff is going to help me find another client. Because when I offer this and when I knock on the neighbor's door and say, hey, going to get your car washed down the street, got your bag, don't worry, come check out our open house and get your car washed for free. Right? So it's right there. I mean, gosh, you go get your car washed somewhere, it takes 30 minutes or longer. Sometimes you're there an hour just waiting for them to wash your car. Right? Or you're taking 20 minutes or 30 minutes waiting in a drive-through car wash. So great. While you're waiting, walk through the house. Get a prize. Grab a coffee. Make it fun. Make it interesting. And they always go, oh, wow. I've never seen anyone do that before. I'm like, that's because no one does. I'm the only one. So that's how we take it to the 10th level. We make it exciting. Not only that, but we give away raffle prizes. So everyone that comes to our open house is entered into a raffle to win $100 cash or a 40-inch big screen smart TV. Right? And again, every time you say you do something, if you have proof, show it. Here's a video of me giving the prize. Obviously, there's no audio. The audio is what makes this special. But, So it's interesting. It's fun. This is my movie. I got to show my movie. I got to have a finale to my movie. So I make it exciting, interesting, fun, engaging. And they usually laugh. They're usually laughing. If they don't laugh, I'm like, okay, I got a high C on my... You guys know what a high C is? Yeah, it's like it's a very analytical person, right? So that's what I do for your open house. So we're going to do that for you as well. We also do virtual open houses. And here's how we can do one. We have a 360
great finishes. I'm going to walk you through here. It's a 4-bedroom home. It's got 3 full bathrooms.
Why is it not working? Okay. So typically this works. This is not working right now, but realistically with this video, it shows them walking through the house, and I can move the screen left and right. I can look up, I can look down. It's a 360 full-on video, and it's pre-recorded, of course. An agent walking through the home, showing them the value, telling them about the area, all that stuff. And you could look anywhere you want in that position that the cameraman is in. So that's what I tell them. Hey, we're going to do, if your client is in Europe, if your client's in Asia, whatever the buyer is, we want to make it seamless for them to find your home. Because the most important thing isn't where the buyer comes from, it's how much money they're willing to pay. We want to get you the most money if that means it's foreign money, right? And then they can, and when we post these things or share these things as a live, we actually have a chat box and we can communicate with them right from there. No matter where they are in the world, we can communicate right from there. They can say, hey, what kind of floors are those? We can respond in the chat box. They might say, hey, when can I set up an actual in-person appointment? Boom, I could set that up. They might say, how do I get financing on that? I could explain that to them, right? And this I can do no matter what day, no matter what time, right? Here's the juicy part. This is the important part. All that other stuff is glitz and glamour and makes everything fun and interesting. But the reality is, we want to make sure they're engaged and they're interested and they're bought in. So at the end of showing them the marketing, I say, when it comes to our marketing, you notice how I said I just based it on our marketing? When it comes to our marketing, what is anyone else doing that I may not have mentioned today? Or I may have forgotten to mention today. Oh yeah, they're putting it in the newspaper. Oh yeah, and then I will talk about that, whatever it is. Usually, 99% of the time, they're like, oh, you cover it all, you do it all. Like, yeah, thanks, we do. If they say, oh well, this other, I heard this, that, and then I'll go over that. Oh, magazine. Oh, brochure. Oh, okay, yeah, definitely. You know what? In this marketing package, it's not everything we do. It's just the things that really make us stand out. But yeah, you're definitely going to get brochures, for sure. Or you're definitely, if it's a luxury home, yeah, we definitely put you in that magazine, right? Because I want them to know no one else is going to be able to do everything I'm doing. No one else is doing something I'm not doing because whatever it is, I could just do it. Okay? So one, I get rid of their doubt. I get rid of anything that's missing. Then I say, so when it comes to our marketing, what did you like the most or find the most effective with our marketing? Right? Anyone? Anyone want to answer that question for me?
Open house.
You like the open houses, Jason? Yes, I love the open houses too. They definitely get you great exposure. So it sounds like, Jason, you feel comfortable and confident that we could effectively market and sell your home.
Yeah, I would say so.
I put it on the marketing. Soft close, everyone. Soft close. You guys, we got to have all the scripts to know what to say to all the objections. I don't get many objections. I get very little to no objections. Right? Why? Because I'm handling all the objections before it comes up. Right? And then I get them talking. I learned this from someone, I don't remember who. When they say what you do is good, they believe what you do is good. So Jason just said, oh wow, your open houses are definitely what's going to help us get this home sold. Ah, you're bought in. Yeah. You spoke it, right? You're telling me I'm the best. That's why I asked that question. And do you feel confident that we can effectively market and sell your home? In a sense, they're thinking, marketing-wise, yeah, absolutely, you can do it. Yeah, by all means, you're going to be able to sell this house, right? And sometimes that's all they need to think or feel to be confident in you that, like, I'm ready to sign with you because I know you can do it. And then I soft close again, okay? But at almost every portion, I'm trying to soft close. So, Jason, do you want me to get the home sold for you?
Yeah.
Yes. There it is again. Another soft close. I do it very beginning. I do it here. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm not going to ask for the listing. I'm going to move as if I got it. When I say move as if I got it, I'm going to go through the steps like they said yes. Okay, next thing we need to do is sign the listing agreement. I'm not going to say, hey, you want to list the house with me? No, they already said, do you want me to get the home sold for you? Yes. Okay, here you go. Next step. Okay, this one's really important, guys, and we might only have time to get to the comps or the net sheets. I'll let you guys decide because it's already 12:03. You guys want to keep going?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, what determines the sale for the highest price? Okay, this is so important. There is a screen. Okay. I think I'm going to focus a little bit on this because it's where we are in the market right Okay? So first off, I go, okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about price. We're going to look at that together and what really gets you the most money for your home. What I found is that I sell homes for higher than any other agent, and I was always wondering, how am I doing that? So I took a step back and looked at my business and how I formed it and the systems I put in place, and I found out there are 4 main reasons or 4 items that cause homes to sell at the highest price. You ready? Yes. Number 1 is how it's priced. And Mr. Seller or Mrs. Seller, how it's priced is really up to you. You get to choose where you want to price this at. But I'll tell you what, there's 3 ways you can price a house. You know what those are? They usually say no. Or they'll start guessing. Okay? Way number 1 is you can price it above the market. When you price a house above the market, typically what happens is it sells for under the market. Quite funny how that works. I'm training them on how to decide how to price their house. Does this make sense? I want them to give me the price. I don't want to say the price because then that eliminates another objection. 2, you can price it at the market. And typically when you price a house at the market, statistically it shows that you'll sell it for about 97 to 100% of the list price if you're pricing it at the market. And number 3, you can price it below the market. When you price a house below the market, I know for a lot of sellers it feels uncomfortable. It feels like, oh my gosh, I'm giving up money. What I found is that majority of the time when you price it below the market, you actually get multiple offers and you get offers above the market. So when you price it above the market, typically you sell it for under the market. When you price it at the market, typically you flatline. When you price it below the market, you actually usually sell it above the market. Does that make sense? Oh, yeah, I can see that. I see how that happens. Right? And then I go into the comps. Oh, no, sorry. I don't go in the columns yet. Number 2 is how it shows. And really, this is going to be you and I working together. So number 1 is how its price is up to you. Number 2 is up to both of us. We got to work together on how your house shows. Right? I'm going to give you a list of things to know and to carry with you to set the house up before every showing if is necessary, if you can, right? You want to have it set up as much as possible. And how to stage the house. So we already went over that. I'm going to walk you through the house. I'm going to show you how to stage the home. I'm going to need your help to move things around. If you need my help, I'll come here. We'll move things around together, so on and so forth. We'll stage your house together. So we got that taken care of to get the most money. Number 3 is how it's marketed. And you just said that we can definitely effectively market your home, and that's going to really be up to me. I'm going to market the house for sale. And number 4 is how we communicate and negotiate. I promise you, every single buyer, every single agent, every single person interested in your home is going to talk to me, and I am going to do everything I can right from the get-go to, 1, negotiate for them to submit an offer. And once an offer is submitted, I'm going to negotiate for more money. Everyone say, for more. For more. Okay? So I'm negotiating for more. So what I'm saying is, I'm going to, number 1, encourage every offer. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's a low offer. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I can only tell if I submit this to the seller and see if they're interested in it. Submit your offer. I will always encourage every offer until it's in my hand. Because when I have one offer, I have leverage. All y'all are afraid to send them a low offer. I prepare them for a low offer. When I have offers, I have leverage. When you have offers, you have leverage. It doesn't matter what price it is, we have the leverage. So let's get them to make that offer. Right? And what I found is a lot of times these people that submit lowball offers are just curious if they can get it for a better deal, but they love the house and they pay full price for it. So let's encourage an offer. And then, so I'm negotiating for you, I'm communicating for you to get an offer. Then I'm communicating to bring that offer up. I don't just say, here's the offer, you want to take it or not? I say, here's the offer, here's what we should do. We should plan on negotiating a little bit more with them to see if we can get more money. Then if I get 2 offers, well, it's on. Oh, I got lots of leverage now. I could put offers against each other. I could put offers against each other, even one of those offers is kind of like, losing, getting cold feet. This is something you will need to learn, though, because you could do it wrong. So be smart about how you're negotiating offers. So this is what I'm telling to the seller, right? This is how I'm going to get you the most money. Like I said, community negotiating, I got you. How it's marketed, I got you. How it shows, we'll do it together, and how its price is up to you. You see how I'm bringing it back around? How its price is up to you. Because I don't want them to say no to me because they think I'm pricing it too low. I won't price it. Okay, so the next step is for us to go over the compare market analysis, do the value range, look at the listing price, look at the net sheet, sign the listing agreement, and do our listing checklist. So I let them know what's happening next. You like how I said sign the listing agreement, right? It's in there. And I just go over it real quick. This is the next step. Boom, 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 sign the listing agreement, boom. They know, so they know what to expect. It's not a surprise. They know what's coming up. Okay, so the next thing I do is go over comps. You guys ready? You still live?
Yes.
Yeah. We're moving quick. I know this is probably longer than we expected, but it's always longer when I'm teaching. All right. So I always give them a book. I drop off a book. I call it a PLP, pre-listing package. You probably haven't heard that before unless you're been around me a lot. And it has the comps in there. This is like our marketing and stuff, of course. It's just kind of reiterating what we just told them. It's a book. We try to make it nice as possible. And then we go all the way to the comps. Where are you at? Come on. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So in this, I even explained to them too. Before we go over the comps, I want you to know what each thing is that we're looking at. Okay? Okay, we're going to look at active. And I say, the active comps, I'm teaching them every step of the way so they know how to interpret the information, okay? Active comps. That's what I call Fantasyland. Is it spelled with an S? Fantasy? Yeah. Fantasyland. I also call it the future. It's Fantasyland, it's the future market. It's not what's actually happening, it's what people are hoping and praying for their house, but we won't know what they really get until the future. Okay? Pending. Are you guys getting this?
Yes.
It's good stuff?
Yes.
Pending. And you guys can take a picture of this if you want later or write it down. Pending. Pending is, I like to say this is the now market. And it brings us one step closer to reality. Okay. Sold. Sold is reality, not realty, reality. And it's the past market. The past market. So what's happening in the past. So if the market is a depreciating market, when I tell them it's the past market, that means that those probably sold for more. I explain these things to them because they need to know how to interpret the comps. If market's going down and I'm showing them high sold, that one's sold. Okay, let me help you. Before we learn about the comps, let's learn about how to interpret them. This is the past market. That's a house that was on the market 6 months ago. And if we're in a depreciating market, that sold, most likely sold for more. Because now the market's depreciating. Right? That's how I explain it. The active market, this is what's on the market right now. It's your competition. It's what you're competing against to get offers for your house. This is your competition. We don't know what they're going to get for it. We don't know if it's going to go over the asking price. We don't know if it's going to go under the asking price. We don't know if it's going to flatline. Right? All we know about the active market really is the days on market, and that's going to be a big indicator for us. Okay, and this is where I break some other stuff down. It's a lot of fun. Days on market. Days on market are a huge indicator of active listings. It will tell us, is that price too high? Was it priced low? Was it priced at market value? So when I say rule of thumb, 7 out of 10 times or 70% of the time, this happens. Okay? I leave room for error because there is, right? Or different statistics, right? So 7 out of 10 times it's happening. When a house is on the market, 0 to 15 days on market, and they open escrow or they go into escrow, that tells me that, one, it was priced right, and most likely it sold for more. 7 out of 10 times, if a house goes into escrow, within 0 to 15 days on the market, it sells for what? More. Good. If it's 15, or let's just say 16,
Do you have crayons?
16 to 30 days on the market, and they accept an offer, that tells me most likely they got full price, so they did a flatliner. Right? And a lot of times I draw this out for them. And I get them to engage because you guys know what's happening next, don't you? Mm-hmm. When it sells for 31 or more days on the market, 7 out of 10 times, 70% of the time, what do you think happens? Sells for less. Sells for less. This is how you get the right price in your house. You have to educate them. Don't fight with them on the price. Educate them. 0 to 15 days, if it sells, 70% chance you're going to sell it for more. 16 to 30 days on the market, it'll be a flatliner. Most likely you'll just sell it for the full list price. 31 plus days, it sells for less. And every 30 days or so, most homes need a price correction, price reduction, price improvement. Oh, this is good stuff. So if every 30 days or so they need a price improvement, I prep them for that. I say, look, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, there's 2 ways that a price can be reduced. Do you know how those are? Yeah. So there's 2 ways that you can do your price is reduced on your home. Right? There's 2 ways. One way is the seller. The seller can choose to reduce. If you're not selling your home, you can choose to reduce. The second way, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is the buyer. This is like, oh, what? What, the buyer? Why is the buyer going to reduce my price? It feels uncomfortable to sit in the reality, because I was like, oh, what price it? Have some negotiating room. But really, they feel some kind of way when they get a lower offer, right? So when I say, well, the buyer could reduce the price in your house, they're like, oh, how? Well, they submit a lower offer, and the seller considers it. The seller considers the lower offer, that's reducing the price. The buyer can reduce, right? Here's the thing, Mrs. Seller. You want to be in control of the price of your home. You want to make the decisions in what price your house is. Not let the buyer make the decisions, you make the decision. Because one thing about when a buyer reduces the price on your home, how many people know about that price? That one buyer knows. One buyer knows you're going to consider to sell it for less. But Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when you choose to reduce your price, everyone knows. Which then opens you up. So if this buyer has a $20K low offer, okay, $20K, that's a K, $20,000 low offer, they're the only one that knows you're going to consider that. But if you drop the price $20K here, everyone knows. Then you're forcing back competition, refreshing your market, selling it on your terms and not theirs. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, does that make sense so far? Yes. See how educating them is really important when it comes to like, oh, you're spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to price this. Yeah, I do. That's two of the biggest objections is price and commission. And of course, what are you going to do and all that stuff. But realistically, if you're doing everything right, then it boils down to price and commission. Okay? So now they know what everything means. Active, pending, and closed. They know that certain days on market mean different things. That if they then they're going to sell it for less if they have a certain amount of days on market. So now when we're looking at active and pending listings, we can really see what's going on there. Right? And then they know, hey, I want to be in control of my house and my price. So, gosh darn it, I'm going to reduce the price. Not them. Right? It makes them feel good about lowering the price instead of bad about it. Okay. Now that you all are educated, it's already 12:20. I'm going to try to run through this quick. Is good? Yes or yes? Yes. Okay. Okay. So then we get to the comps, right? This is a yes process again. Mr. Seller, is this your correct address? Yes. Is this your correct names on title? Yes. Perfect. Again, I want them to be in a constant mood and motion of yes, okay? So I show here that your house is a 3-bed, 2-bath. Title, a lot of times it's off. Usually there's an extra bedroom or sometimes there's 1 bedroom less or something changed with the house. I'll just handwrite it on there and then I'll put it in my notes, okay? Yeah, when walking through your house, it's all you actually have 4 bedrooms. Like, oh yeah, that one's an office. Okay, cool. I'm going to count it as 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, built in 1987. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, the bedrooms and bathrooms are important. However, they are less important than the year built and the square footage and the location. So when we're trying to compare apples to apples, we want to be within 10 years, if possible, of your house, within about 300 square feet of your house as well, plus or minus, and within less than a mile of your home. Okay, this doesn't work every time. However, if there are enough comps within these boundaries, we'll shrink it or we will stretch it out to find the right comps. And we also know that some houses say they have 3 bedrooms but actually have 4. Okay? So I'm prepping them to not say, oh, well, my house has 4 bedrooms, so it's worth more. I tell them, hey, look, we're looking at the square footage because if the square feet is there, there's room for a room. Yes? Yeah, so it's not as big of a deal, right? Yeah, does it add some value? It could. Most important, we're going to look at living area. And I'll say, your house is a 4-bed, 2-bath, yes? Yes. Your house is built in 1987, yes? To the best of my knowledge, yes. Great. Approximately 1,582 square feet, yes? Yes. Great. Now I have confirmed and validated the items that I'm going to use to compare their house. I always bring the map. Some of you guys do this on RPR. Some of you guys pull comps. Some of you guys bring 1 sheet of paper. However you want to do it is really up to you. I like this because it's been working for me. So I bring a map. Boom, slap it on the table. Like I said, location is important. Here's your house on the map. Somewhere approximately, I'll put a little dot. Here's all the houses right here in your neighborhood. Here's all the houses right here close to your neighborhood that are very comparable and similar to your neighborhood. Because we want apples to apples as much as possible. This will eliminate them saying, oh, where was that house? Oh, what neighborhood is that in? And then you going, I don't know. You just go, oh, yeah. And I always say, hey, look, if you're ever wondering where a house is, we'll pull this map right back up and we'll look at where it is in comparison to your house, okay? Yeah, okay, sure. I remember I was getting hit with that all the time. Like, where is that house? That one and that? I'm like, I have no clue where that house is. I just know it's within a mile from me, right? So the map was like, okay, cool. That made it easier for me. I don't have to study and memorize where the heck they are. Right? All right, here's another tip. The order that you go in with the comps is strategic. I usually like to start in a depreciating market. You can start with actives, pendings, or closed first. I think either actives or sold are the best one to start with, right? In a depreciating market, I like to end with the lowest price, okay? In an appreciating market, I like to end with the highest price. because it kind of has the flow of what's going on. And then I'll put them in order of price. Price. And yeah, like, oh, but that house had a pool, or that house, but it gives them a mental thing, right? It tells you something mental. Also, the first comp they see and the last comp they see are going to be the ones they remember. Everything in between, they'll kind of have a recollection, but realistically, the first and the last are going to be most memorable. So what comp do you want to put first and what comp do you want to put last? Think about that. Or it might not matter. Like, we're good. It's fine. Or if it's like, hey, I don't know, this one might be a tough one. Do everything that works in your benefit, okay? So, you can go active pending sold. What I like to do is active pending sold. And this depends on the market. Okay? What I could do is I start with the lowest, active, and then I do in order to graduate, lowest to highest of actives, highest. Pending, I'll do lowest to highest. Sold, I'll do highest to lowest. It does something when the first comp you pull up on a sold, it's like, oh, that's $500 now. Okay, great. Next one's $490. Next one's $480. Next one's $470. And you feel nervous inside. You're like, oh my gosh, they're freaking out right now, and they feel like I'm gonna do a good job. It's not you. They love it. They don't like it, but it works. Put it that way. Because now they, in their mind, they're like, oh, that one's less. And they're like, oh, wait, what's going on in this market? They start thinking maybe it's a depreciating market. Maybe house prices are coming down. Okay? So then I start. And again, you don't always have to do highest to lowest for sold comps. You can choose. Just remember, everything you do is strategic. Okay? The next thing I do, I go, hey, I need your help to go over these houses because it's not me telling you what's going on. It's the market telling us what's going on. Make sense? Cool. So I might ask you what the price of a home, the size of a home, just so we can interact. Fair enough? Yes. Great. So then I'll say, okay, Mr. Seller, how much is this house on the market for? Somebody? $415. 5 stars, my guy. This house, yes, it's $415. So I have them say the price. Because again, when you say it, you believe it. Just like earlier, when they tell me I'm the best, they believe it. When they say the market's $415, they believe it. So now it's not me saying it, it's them saying it. Okay? This is up to you. You don't have to do this, but I like to do it. I like to point. My comps are on paper, by the way. Okay? My comps are on paper, and I point. How much is this one? And I'll say, here's another active on the market. How much is it? $415. Great. It's been on the market 147 days. And it's still on the market. If we look back at all this stuff, that tells us it's going to sell for less. Or they need to do a price reduction. Okay, so it's 3 beds, 3 baths, built in 1986, 1526 square feet, very similar to your home. Here's why, and here's the differences. Done. Move on to the next one. My comps are always in color too, because I think it helps. Okay? Okay, here's another active. It's currently on the market. Again, this is your competition. Tell me, how much is this one on the market for? $430. Great. It's been 29 days on the market. They don't have any offers yet. It's 1356 square feet, 3 bed, 2 bath. I'm pointing as I'm saying this, and this is why they're sitting to my right, because that makes it easier. Okay? So I can show them everything. Okay? It's a one story, just like yours. Okay? How much is this one on the market for? How many days? 34 days. It's a 3 bed, 2 bath, 1987 built, 1632 square feet. This house is very comparable to your home. It's a little bit larger, and it has similar bed and bath and year built. It's still on the market after 34 days for $435. Okay? What does this tell you, you guys? After educating you on how to read this, what are you seeing about that comp? Huh? What are you seeing about the price?
Price too high.
Price too high. Because I educated you on how to read this. 30 for it every 30 days you need a price reduction. They go, now when they read it, they go, oh, look, they're selling that house. We know active comps. People look at, oh, they just put a house on the market down the street from me for $1 million, so mine should be $1 million too. No, that's a fake price. It's not what it sold for. It's active. Fantasyland. This is how I'm training them. They go, oh, yeah, that one down the street from me on the market has been on the market for 60 days. Right, it's overpriced. And you don't want to be on the market 60 days, do you? No, I don't. Exactly. So this one is on the market for $435. Pending. Remember, this is the now market. This is what works. This is when a buyer saw the price, got excited about the price, and made an offer. Okay? And it got accepted. It was a reasonable offer. How much was this one on the market? Was this one on the market for? $419,999. Right? This one was on the market for $419,999. It's just a tad bit smaller than yours, not much. 4-bed, 2-bath, built in 1992, just a little newer than yours, and it was only on the market how long? 8 days. What does this tell you? Wow, that's fast. What does it tell you? Price right. What does it also tell you most likely happened?
Full price.
Full price or more.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 times, this house sold for full price or more. This house active on the market, 435, 34 days, still sitting there. That tells us it's priced too high. This one sold in 8 days. This tells us price right. You see how now they can get that in their head instead of you, no, this comp, no, this comp. They understand the data. Okay, here's another thing. How much is this one? Can you guys see that? 465. 465, and it was on the market 127 days. 1544 square feet, 4-bed, 2-bath, built in 1997. Here's why. 2 things. One, it was overpriced. That's why they took it off the market and put it back on the market. They most likely remodeled it. They have solar. The pool, there's a pool in the home. In this neighborhood, if they have a pool, it typically adds $30,000 to $50,000 worth of value. Okay, so now I'm explaining why this house went for 465. I'm not just telling 465. I'm explaining what happened. And even then, it took 127 days. Right? So because it went into escrow within that 7 days, I believe they got full price for it. Right? Oh, well, that's great. 465. Right. But a pool's going to add how much to your house? 30 to 50,000. Let's just cut it short. 40. Okay, so this would be worth 425. And it was fully remodeled, upgraded, HVAC, all this stuff, right? Before I go on these appointments too, I'll highlight things in the remarks with a highlighter. And then I'll make sure to read those to them, especially on something like this, where I'm like, this comp is high. It might mess up their head. All right, sold comps. We have one. Okay, here we go. This one, I could do it in reverse, or I can do it lowest to highest or highest to lowest. So this one sold for how much? $390. And it took how long?
4 days.
4 days in the market. Okay, so it went pretty quick. Here's the thing that I'm a little unsure about. This is what I would say. Here's the thing I'm a little unsure about. See, if this was my listing, I would have sold this for more. They priced it at $390, but didn't get more for it, and most likely that's because they weren't negotiating. Right? When you have an offer that quick, you should be able to get more for the house. It listed for $390 and it sold for $390. All right, can you tell me how much that one sold for? $410. 51 days on the market, 1660 square feet, 4-bed, 2-bath, built in 1981. They started on the market at original list price was $410 and they sold it at $407. You see how the buyer reduced the price for their home? Yeah. The price came down. Okay. This one sold for $414. Okay, you see how I'm ending with a lower comp? This one sold for $414. How much did it sell for? 414, 25 days on the market, 4 beds, 3 baths, 1829 square feet. So it's a tad bit larger than yours, right? This one, even though it only took, well, it took 25 days, and they actually had to come down a bit in the price to get it sold. All right, and this one sold for 440, 3 bed, 2 bath, built 1440 square feet, 17 days on the market. They started at 439.9, and they actually sold it for 440. So they got $100 more for it. There you go. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just we went over a lot of these comps. Oh man, I got a lot of comps on this one. Okay. All right. Then I'll go. So there's 2 ways I could do this. One, I'll ask them what they think the right price is for their house, or I'll show them the Zillow first. I'll do it this way first. So say, based on the market and what the market is telling you, what's the best price that's going to get a buyer excited, emphasis on excited, to come see your home?
415. 410.
410, 415. Yeah, absolutely. They say that. Well, you guys are saying that because you're realtors. And you're like, oh yeah, I don't mind saying it's on my house. Yes, you're right, you're right. Now, if it was your house, what would you say?
420.
420, 430. Yes, if it was your house, you would say 420 and 430. And the truth of the matter is, you're right. 420, 430 is perfect price. Then I'll go, okay, great, exactly. That's, and I'm like, yeah. And and then somewhat affirm. Like, yeah, okay. And then if it's too high, I'll go back to the comps. Okay, so this one was that, and then I'll just highlight the ones that really justify my point. And then I'll ask them again, what's the right price to set in your home so that we know a buyer's going to get excited. We're not sitting on the market reducing the price on your house, and you control the price of the home and not the buyer. Right? Then I'll go, okay, great. Zillow shows your because they all want Zillow. On Zillow it says. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna bring Zillow with me every time. Every time I'll just bring the Zillow printout. Like I don't know what, because sometimes I didn't know what Zillow said. I'm like, dang, what is Zillow say? Here's the thing. You don't gotta bring Zillow. You just gotta bring one automated estimate from the internet. That could be Redfin, that could be Realtor.com, that could be Zillow. So what I would do is I would search for the lowest one. If Zillow was too high, then I would search for Redfin. What is it on this website? What is it on that website? Right? And then I would show them that one. Like, okay. Oh, well, Zillow says worth $450. Like, yeah, and Redfin shows it's worth $420. So what are we going to believe here? We're going to believe what the online people say or what the comps say. Right? What the market's telling us. So let's focus on what the market's saying and not what Zillow's saying. Right? That's how you get over that objection, right? Without them even having it. Okay. So that's how you go over the comps one at a time, show them the Zestimate. Then the next thing is going to be the value. At that point, you said 420 to 430. When I bring the value, I stretch it. I go a little lower and a little higher. I'm willing to price this house at a maximum of 430 where I saw the comps. So as long as they're 430 or less, or I can get them on board with 430 and less, I'll take the listing. If they're over, their motivation's got to be high. If they don't have a high motivation, I'm definitely not taking a listing for 440 on this one. I'm not. But if they have hey, I got a job transfer, I'm moving in 6 months regardless. Perfect. Let's price it at 440, give it 2 weeks on the market, and then drop the price if we don't sell it. Because you got motivation. You're really going to move. If they don't, I would say no. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that ride. So then I'll go, okay, cool. So based on what the market's telling us, the low value is 390, and the comps justify that. And the high value is 440. And then what I'll do is something like this. Because again, this is on paper. So we got 390 and 440. So we're somewhere between 390 and 440, so we'll probably end up somewhere in the middle. And then you would say, And this might be my way to then get them off of saying 450. You know, the market showing is 390 to 440. We're probably going to end up somewhere in the middle. What do you think that would be? Like, oh yeah, 430. Cool. 430. Great. 420. Okay, cool. And then whatever that number is, and then I'll say, well, we could either price it at 420 or 430. I recommend 420, but like I said, it's up to you. So I'm never choosing the price. I will then put it out there. I'll say, you know what, we could do 420 or we could do 430. I recommend 420. Where do you want to price it? Now I give them an option. I didn't price the house. I did tell them where they should price the house, but I didn't. Where do you want to price the home? Well, and a lot of times they'll go to a lower number. Like, no, honey, like, we really got to get this sold. And he's right. If it sits on the market, then they're going to control our price, and it's just going to be on the market for days and days and days. And then it's going to sit there. It's going to go stagnant. No, we want to sell this house. And if you can get us more than 420, if you can push that up to 430, then that's what we want. Then great. You're going to be happy with the results. So I'll write it in, whatever it is, 420, whatever it is, right? All right, so let's take a look at the net sheets. Look at you guys, like almost in 2 hours. This must be good. It doesn't feel long? Oh. All right, so then I'm going to bust out 3 net sheets. I pre-make the net sheets, but sometimes I'll do, because I have my laptop, so I'll do the net sheet right there. Type it up real quick, and I'll do 3. A lot of you call escrow to do your net sheets, and by all means, call escrow to do your net sheets. Don't bring 1 net sheet, bring several. Bring 3, bring 4, whatever, right? So I typically bring 3, and I categorize in 3 ways, or I have 3 different categories. I have most, what do I call the other one? So 1, 2, 3, I have most likely. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Best case. Some of you guys are taking pictures of this, so I'm gonna make an answer. Best case and best case and worst case. Okay, we don't know what it's gonna sell for, so why are you guys telling them one number? Like, we don't know. So I tell them, look, worst case scenario, and this is what I used to say. Worst case scenario, and if this happens, oh my gosh, I'm going to consider getting out of real estate. Worst case scenario, we sell it for $410,000. Here's all your costs to close. After all your costs to close, you're going to walk away with $131,000. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, worst case scenario, is that something you can live with? Usually they say that. Yeah, you know what, I think so. Worst case, yeah. And sometimes they're like, I don't know. If they say, I don't know, I go, well, look, absolute worst case scenario, if your life depended on it, is that something you could live with? I'll ask them one more time. Like, yeah, I guess I could. Great. Started with the lowest one. Then I go, boom. Okay. You guys might not have seen that, but I changed the net sheet. This one's at 420. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, at $420,000, you're walking away with $140,000. And this one, and I'll circle it, I'll say this one is most likely. Most likely this one's going to happen. This has the highest chances of happening. Okay? And then Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if we sold your house for $430,000, you would walk away with $150,000. You could definitely live with that, right? Yes. And like you smile. You could definitely live with that. Yes. And what's crazy about it is $430,000 is probably just under market value, or right at market value, right? And they're like excited, like, yeah, I'll take it. So $150,000, and that's best case scenario. And guess what? At best case scenario, this is what I want for you. Because if I do this for you, that means I'm probably selling over market value, and everyone in the neighborhood is going to want to work with me. So this is important to me to make happen for you because I benefit as well. You benefit and so do I. Make sense? Boom. They're like, cool, 420, let's go. Next step, like I said, the listing agreement. At this point, actually there is, I'm not going to go over this, guys, because we're out of time. But I have my listing checklist. I'm like, all right, you ready to go? Then I fill this out. What's going to happen next? What's the best number to reach you on? What commission are we charging? What are the showing instructions? Is it owner occupied? Is it vacant? Is it tenant occupied? Contingent on a replacement home? Yes or no? Does it have an HOA, solar, septic, blah, blah, blah? Well, how many bedrooms are we advertising? Oh, here, you guys are taking pictures. How many bedrooms are we advertising? Not how many bedrooms does it have, how many are we advertising? Now, how many are on title? How many are we advertising? Where did the lead come from? Where are they moving to? Who is the presenter? Who's the listing agent? Who's the buyer's agent? I need all this because I have a team and things get divvied up. Referral, yes or no? Was there an agent? What company referred it to us? Who do we got to pay? Is there an HOA? What's the number? How much does it cost for the monthly? What's the solar company? Is it lease, finance, paid, or other? What's the phone number? What's the monthly expense for the solar? What other notes can I put in here? Have I received the key? Or if not, when will I get the key? What type of lockbox are we putting on the house? Where is it going? When are we doing the staging consultation? Did that happen? Is that happening today? Or are we scheduling it for another day? When is the sales clean? When is the carpet clean? When's the pictures going to be done? When do they want it on the market by? When's our first open house? What other notes? Do we need to get estimates for anything? So now they not only sign a listing, but they have a plan. They know what's happening next. And for all of those, or any of you who have an assistant or someone who works with you, you got to know what's going on next. And this is what allows me to walk out of a listing appointment and potentially not have to do anything else. Potentially. Of course I want to because that's the relationship part. I don't have to. The team knows what's happening. This person knows what to do next. It makes it very seamless. And then for the agents on our team, it helps them because then it lightens their load significantly. Right? This stuff is just happening on these dates. Right? What questions do you have? It is on there. Buyer's agent, seller's broker. Now, again, you guys are gonna be like, okay, well, you know, we don't charge this stuff, but we tell them like, hey, look, if they were to ask, I usually put 2% on that. Like, hey, look, you don't have to pay the buyer's broker, but I want to put it on here in case it comes up because a lot of times they're going to ask you for it and the buyer doesn't have the money to pay it. So it's up to you to choose if you're going to pay for it or not. I put it on here as a worst case scenario so you know what to expect so we can calculate your numbers.
So like most of the sellers that they ask like, can you bring the buyer by themselves in that case? They kind of like people like the listing agent bringing the buyer by themselves. But like I hate that situation. Like I standing on my own toes doing like new agent, and it's very complicated, way more than I imagined before I take it on.
I love it. So here's what I do. I say, typically I'll say, actually, no, I don't give a discount because here's the thing. If it's my buyer, I can take them to sell anyhow. I want them to buy your house, of course, but in all reality, I want to sell them the house that they want. And they could buy any other house. So let's say another one is going to pay 3%. And I bring them here. So what's the value in that? And I have a team. So if I tell my team, like, hey, if you bring a buyer to our own house, you're actually going to make less money. So it's all a negotiation. I'm not going to reduce my commission if one of my agents or one of my buyers wants to buy it. I will hunt for buyers. Here's the thing, Rose or Mr. Seller. I am hunting for the buyers for your home. And 90% of the time, they're already working with agents. So when I find a buyer for your home, they say, great, let me call my agent. They have an exclusive representation agreement that basically states that they're going to be working with that agent. Now, if I were to interfere by walking through the house with them, they'll feel uncomfortable. And what I found is when people are uncomfortable walking through a home, it for a house, it doesn't feel like a home. We want your house to feel like a home because that's what's going to get you an offer. So if I'm there, the chances are it's going to reduce the chances of you actually getting an offer. However, there is one other situation that this is different in, and that's luxury homes. You should be there for the luxury homes because they're usually very unique, have a lot of different value that you can't see just walking through the house. So you should be there to answer all the questions and add value and stuff like that. However, in average prices on the market, that's not the case. They need to feel comfortable in the house because it has pretty much what every other house has. Right? So that's the only thing. Does that make sense?
But like the seller, we want to take 1 or 2% is by the buyer. So they look. I want to show them the disadvantage of their own get the buyer. So that way they can see they might lose more than they can save from the dentist from the same group. Because now, like, if the listing agent is not only protecting the buyer, the seller is protecting the buyer, and a lot of things will come, like when something goes on wrong with the loan on the buyer side, or something changing with the buyer side, the buyer is not going to tell the seller right away in the situation, and like it's going to try to cover up for the buyer at the same time. So it's kind of like a very shitty situation.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't like dual agency for myself because I feel I'm very uncomfortable. I feel like I have two people that I have to fight for equally. Like, how does this work? So I prefer to at least have another agent represent that buyer, agent on the team, someone else, pay me a referral, whatever. But like, fight for that buyer. Let me fight for the seller. And then when there's like too much in it for me, then I'm like, oh, I'm doing everything I can to keep this together. I can't help it. I'm gonna make so much freaking money on both sides. Like I have to do everything to keep it together. The one thing that it does allow me to do is be flexible on offering commission to solve a problem. However, again, I don't like to be in that situation. Personally, I'm not saying you shouldn't. Go in as many as you can, make that money off, but in all reality, as long as you're the person that can separate the two and is okay being at fault for everything. It's always remember, no matter what it is, it's your freaking fault. And you can't even try to blame someone else. What it is. Any other questions?
On your
I include all the comps. I include all the comps. So when I say pre-listing, I usually don't drop it off before. I bring it with me. I bring it with me. If it's a consultation or just a drop off, like they just want to know what their house is worth, then I'll do a book and I'll drop it off with no intentions, with very low intentions of like listing it, knowing that maybe it's down the road. And typically what I'll do is I will go to the the value, where is it? Somewhere in here. I'll go to this page, and if I'm not presenting it, I'm going to make this wider. I'm going to go 380 or maybe 390. I usually will stretch the high price.
Okay.
I'll stretch the high price. Because if I'm dropping it off and there's a chance that they might want to list, I want to make sure that I'm not killing myself from getting the chance to go to present.
Okay.
And sometimes they just look at price. So I'll stretch that. It's okay as long as it's in the range that I put. I'll put, 460. Sure.
So like for the added value that you mentioned is amazing. But how can you do that without say offering the free moving truck?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if the seller moving out state, it's going to be thousands for the moving truck.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we offer this added service? But without simplifying too much out.
So when they're moving out of state, I very rarely let them use the truck. I have let them use the truck, but they sign an additional waiver that it's all their responsibility, everything. Don't call me at 3 a.m. saying the truck's stuck somewhere, no. But I really confirm that with them, they understand. But added value, yeah, so you can do anything. You could say, we'll contribute towards your moving costs, and that contribution is $200. when our truck is not available, someone else has it, and we feel so bad because we offered it to them, but we do tell them up in the beginning, it's by availability, so you got to schedule it in. If it's not scheduled, there's a chance you won't get it, right? So they know that up front. But a lot of times what we'll do is like, okay, hey, here's $200 for your U-Haul. Go rent a U-Haul. You know, like, hey, sorry the truck's booked, or sorry the truck's at the mechanic. Here's $200 for a voucher for a U-Haul. Any other last questions? Any ahas? All right, guys. A lot of ahas? Good stuff?
Good stuff.
Okay. I will be doing it again, so next time make sure you're here for it too. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.
I'm very impressed about the open house. I did run a team open house, and you've been in the car wash, in front of the house. So how did you like do that? Like how much does it cost for you to do that?
I think usually it costs about $200, $200 to $300. Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, so what I do is I call a mobile detailer, and I say, hey, look, we need you for like 2 hours or 3 hours at a house. So it's not charged per car; it's going to be charged